let me tell you where this house started. This was supposed to be a pretty minor renovation. It turned into a really serious one. But we've decided that we're going to go for a Cape Cod look. We had to replace the entire roof. We put a metal roof over the porch, okay? We had to replace all of the decking because moisture had warped it and it had become weakened over time. And that's because the house didn't have proper ventilation. But come on in and look at the messiest stage of a construction project. So we're through the gut, and one of the things we wanted to do was create an open floor concept. In order to do that, we had to remove a load-bearing wall, put up a 1,300-pound beam, redistribute that weight through the beam, through a column to a beam below the, in the basement level, right? And that will allow us to have this really fantastic 22-foot opening. This is gonna be a magnificent chef's kitchen, right? It's gonna have an L formation come all the way around, and then it's gonna have a 9-foot island by 40 inches. It's going to be one of the most spectacular kitchens I've ever built. Really high-end, true craftsmanship. Everything in this house has been done to an extreme. All the windows are Anderson windows. All the cabinetry is custom made. The granite, all the stone is truly top end. So this client picked out some really gorgeous tile, right? Some of it inspired by the coast, some of it inspired by a trip that she took to Paris, in which she took a picture and decided, I'd love to have my tile in my bathroom look like that, right? She walked into a really beautiful powder room. And working with the client, you're working with someone's dreams and inspirations. And there are two kinds of people that buy homes, right? And you have to think about what kind of person you are. Are you an inside person or are you an outside person? An inside person, the center of their life's activity takes place in the home. They host friends, they have dinners, right? They have holiday celebrations. Everything happens in the home. That type of a person needs a lot of space to entertain. They may need a chef's kitchen if they're cooks. If you're an outside person, all of your activities take place outside of your home. You travel, you go to someone else's party, right? You don't necessarily host people in your house. Well, you don't need a house that's as big or that is structured for entertaining. So when I'm talking to a client, I try to figure out, are they an inside person or an outside person? How important is this space to them? How do they live in that space? How will they interact with their friends, their relatives, their colleagues in this home? And then we try to design around that. Because the home should be a place that makes you happy, but it should also feel natural to be there, right? You should be wanting to come home, not avoid coming home. This is a sunroom back here. And we opened up the sunroom opening. This is going to become the dining room. So you're standing in the kitchen. This will become the dining room, okay? We've got windows surrounding the dining room. It'll be a beautiful sunroom looking at the backyard where we're gonna do some really amazing landscaping. These cabinets were original to the project. We're going to repurpose some of them for the laundry room because they're actually fairly new. As you come through, some of the things we did, in any home you want to create a sense of space. And most hallways in homes built in the 1970s are between 32 and 36 inches wide. Those hallways make you feel cramped. So we opened the hallway so that it would all the way to 45 inches. And what it does is it creates a greater sense of space. We put in a new powder room, and the tile is inspired by a French farmhouse. Okay, when it's finished, the floors are down, but they're protected. But once it's finished, it's going to really be beautiful. And it'll have a cast iron apron sink on the right, standalone apron sink. This, it has a pocket door. A pocket door will open, bringing you into the bedroom. The bedroom is now wide open. We took what was a closet and converted it into a master suite. So this master suite will feature a really nice size shower, 36 inches wide, 52 inches long. There's gonna be a 60-inch stone tub here, beautiful vanity on this end, toilet here. As you can see, the inspiration for this house, because the owner is in the Navy, and they wanted a Cape Cod type of a feel. So we're bringing the coast to Virginia. Let me take you down to where the real headaches were in this project, which were the basement. The basement had several problems. When we came to this project, this basement was a nightmare. It was filled with mold and mildew. Okay, you could barely breathe in this space. So the first thing we had to do was reduce moisture. We understood the problem from inception, because with moisture meters, we detected the ground moisture, or the moisture coming through the slab, was going to present a problem. And then we saw some deflection in the wall, which meant that the ground pressure outside was pushing water to the wall. And because this did not have a sump pump, it was bowing the wall, and at the same time, it had cracked it. We put some Kevlar straps on. These are used by NASA. And it's a new method that is used to basically correct a bowing structure or a fragile block structure in a wall. We dug out the entire perimeter and put in a French drain. And that French drain leads you to a sump pump back here with a battery backup in case we should lose power. And we put in a humidifier for 4,000 square feet. So this is really very comfortable now, right? The humidity in the space at this moment is 61, which isn't bad. It's really good. It was in the 80s. And then we're gonna put a whole house humidifier onto the HVAC when we're done. And so that should bring that humidity down to about 50. We relocated. We're gonna put the washer, dryer, build this room out, and this is gonna be a beautiful laundry room. On this end, we're building a playroom for the girls. And on the other side, an office for that naval officer, right? We've also put in new openings to bring in light into this basement so that you have new windows. All of the windows down here, and there's one more en route, which is gonna double the size of that window, put in a new patio door. All of that is gonna bring in a lot of natural light. And all of those windows are built with tempered glass, and they're going to be coated with a film that makes it very difficult for them to break for security purposes. As you can see, here's where we welded the columns that connect to the basement. They'll go down to the footing. And we had to test those footings. So those footings are 18 inches deep, and they are 24 inches wide. And we know that because you can see where these little holes where we drilled to actually test the footings. Right? And so that displaced all of the weight that was above this, which allowed us to create this open space. Because we had mold, we decided to replace all the ductwork on the HVAC, right? We're gonna sterilize it once we're done, but by doing that, we kind of ensure air quality in the house is the best it can be. We came in with a full electrical package, so the entire house is gonna be recessed lighting. Every room is gonna be really well lit, including the closets. And then, in an act of creativity, since we had to reroute the trunks, we rerouted them close to the staircase. We're building out a wall. When you come here, when you come in the house, and she has two little girls, there'll be a place for them to hang their book bags and their coats, tuck their shoes away, and maybe during the winter, all of their hats and scarves and stuff. This staircase leads to the second floor, and it's where we did a lot of work reconfiguring the space. Again, you had really cramped hallways, and you can see where we moved the wall 8 inches, right? And we widened the space, giving it a more luxurious, right? A better feel. Put pocket doors into this room, so no doors open into the hallway. We'll put closet systems in the closets. All of these windows will be replaced with Anderson windows. And then because we extended this, we had a lot of dead space inside the room. So what we did was we expanded these closets so they would be 6 foot by 6 foot, right? Which is, in today's world in which people have lots of clothes and things, a 6 foot by 6 foot closet with a closet system is a much better deal because it eliminates the need for dressers. And so here what the plan is, in talking with the homeowner, is that we'll have a queen size bed with pull-out drawers and 2 nightstands. And then the closeting system will be in the closets, or the drawer system will be in the closets. As you walk down, we're completely redoing the girls' bathroom, and it's gonna have the same theme, the Cape Cod theme that the mother picked out for her master suite. And we're going to replace that window, right, with a window that is just as wide, but a little shorter, so that we can make sure that the water doesn't catch onto the windowsill and create problems in the future. This room is kind of a mirror of the other side, and we did the same thing in that we expanded the closet. This closet's gonna be a little bigger, it'll be 8 by 6. And we'll put a closet system in there with drawers, eliminating the need for a dresser. But if there is a need for a dresser, we took this wall, scaled it back, pushed back the knee wall so that we could slide in a dresser if one was needed there. Now, this house, one of the other problems we ran into is it had no insulation. And so we did spray foam, okay, in the area, on the section of the roof that was uninsulated, right, and would make it difficult to, this is open cell spray foam, okay? It'll keep the room warmer, okay? And you won't have, on this side, over here what we discovered, let me tell you about a problem. When this home was built, typically you have a roof and then they build a porch off of the roof. So it separates the 2 areas. In this house, when they built the roof, they actually didn't separate it, they went right out and over. So this was unconditioned air. And it created a tremendous amount of moisture, which brought mold into the house. It also made the heating bills enormous because none of this was insulated. So one of the things we're gonna do back here is we're going to regrade all of the soil, right, around the house to make sure that the water runs away from the house, not towards the house. And then we're gonna put in a French drain that wraps all the way around the backyard and lets the water out at this sewer. By doing that, we'll take all of that pressure off of the home, okay? And by taking that pressure off of the home, we'll reduce problems with moisture. All right, well, now you've seen a renovation in its ugliest stages, right? In a few weeks, you'll see this coming to fruition. The walls will be finished. I'll bring you back to look at the bathrooms when they're done, right? This is gonna be a gorgeous renovation. I'm happy that you're here with me today. I can't wait to see you in the future. I'm John the Builder. Have a good life.